Oh,
There we go.
AD is heavy metal and hard rock.
Somehow we can put that together, but it won't sound right. AD is metal rock. No, that doesn't work. That does not work. That does not compute.
Does not compute.
Does not compute. Poor Aaron had to turn off his laptop again.
And it was not okay.
Not at all. It's always Skype. I thought about doing that.
I had to send you the first song that made it onto this week's video playlist.
Yes, I like
because, it starts out so slow and everything and almost light rockish before like halfway into the song it going, I don't know if I go totally metal, but definitely hard rock.
Yeah, it feels
and then
rockish.
Like once it starts going that way, it just totally goes for the rest of the song that way. Like Derk described it, a calm before the storm.
Right.
And I'm talking about Edna Swap's Torn.
Torn. And then later copied by Natalie Losing-Abinoblis.
Imbrulia.
Thank you.
Yeah, like when you think of somebody doing a cover of a song, you don't think of 2 years later.
And that 2 years later became a big hit for Natalie. Who knew?
That did. Like you said, I hope it was like Edna Swap was getting some kickback from that.
Yeah.
Because it was on their album that they released in, I think it was like 95, and then sometime in 97 is when the pop version that became a huge hit came out.
Wow, that was actually in the 90s? I'm thinking early 2000s for some reason.
Well, in the late 90s or whatnot, because I think it was like 95 and 97, like only like 2 years apart.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Because it made me go, wait, that was a cover?
That's what I said. I said, that's really a cover? And apparently it was. And Natalie became a big star. She said, Torn, I want to borrow this. Apparently they said, okay.
Edna Swap.
Yeah, Edna Swap.
I want to borrow that.
Yeah, hey, Edna, let's swap. But yeah, good song, though. The original, that is.
Yeah, and then this is something that we didn't mention in the other playlist that was for the Mo Derk City, was that what they had been doing with Derk's picks on YouTube, like picking one of his songs to start it out and then having like 3 of mine in a row.
Right.
Now that we're going to Derk's first pick, I'm not going to get to say anything until Derk's totally done with all 3 of his picks. Because of it went with that first pick that was mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, skip you, Mojo. Skip you, Aaron. Because it went your 3 picks in both Mo Derk City and AD is Metal. Because of 2, 3, and 4. Dirk's picks 3 straight in a row. Starting out with Scorpions, Arizona.
Maybe, like I said, maybe YouTube is just saving the best for last.
Well, I'd say that it's the heaviest song on the playlist.
Ah. What Arizona is?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Off of the comment you made, maybe they're saving the best for last.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. There you go.
It definitely is probably the heaviest song on the video playlist this week.
Yes.
But let's get back to Scorpions, Arizona.
Yeah. Arizona. Yeah, I liked Arizona. I was torn rather to pick this song or their other song, China White, because I'm a big fan of that song, China White. That song was used by the Skyscrapers back in the old NWA days, back in 1989. But I like Arizona.
The China White song?
Yeah, the China White song. Used by Sid Vicious and Dangerous Dan Spivey when they were a tag team known as the Skyscrapers.
Also known as Sid Justice and Sid Vicious.
And Sid Vicious. And Waylon Mercy. Dan Spivey.
Dirty Dan Spivey. Not to be confused with Dirty Dom.
Not at all. Or Dirty Dango.
Dirty Dango.
Dirty Dango. Dirty Fandango. Dirty Dango.
We're just talking about Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah. It's one of them songs you put on one of those long road trips. And then you get confused. Is it talking about the state of Arizona or is it talking about a girl whose name happens to be Arizona? Oh, there it is now. Well, we have the intro.
Few seconds.
Just a few seconds. We don't want YouTube to say, hey, you can't do that. But you had a few seconds. Yeah, but it had a few seconds of jamming and then it really gets into it. Arizona. It's a good song. But I like that whole album.
Next one could be a whole half of album. Dirk's next pick was Deep Purple, Knocking at Your Back Door. Coming in at 7 minutes and 24 seconds.
That was a long song, but one of those songs that didn't feel like 7 minutes and 25 seconds. And this song was also used in ECW. Here's the funny part. For the longest time, for some reason, I'm thinking stalker knocking at your back door, like you're trying to escape someone. And then while playing it, I'm thinking, oh, that's what they mean by that. Knocking at your back door. Like I had an epiphany when that's what they really mean by that. I thought it was some sort of stalker or some guy who's wants to stalk a girl and go after her, but no, it's something totally different.
Oh, you mean like Jim Morrison when he was talking about how he's a backdoor man?
Yep. And I'm sitting here singing the song and the whole time, knocking at your back door. Like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. That's what they mean by that. I was late to the party to find out what it really meant.
You know what's even funnier? You know who the name, you can tell it's a Deep Purple fan that put that video up.
Mm-hmm.
Purple Snake.
Bro, Purple Snake. Oh boy.
What's the name of that song again, Dirk?
You mean it's not about a crazed, deranged killer knocking at your back door waiting to kidnap you? No, it's something different. Oh. Who knew?
Aliens.
Yeah, aliens, exactly, aliens. Kind of like that epiphany I got when I listened to Sheila Easton's song "Sugar Walls." Like, oh, that's what "Sugar Walls" means. Okay.
That's what's funny is like I've seen like a few videos on like Instagram and stuff where people are going back and playing like songs they liked in the 90s and everything
Mm-hmm.
and are having the like, oh, that's what they were saying in that song.
Yeah, I'm having that Randy Marsh moment when he said the N word when he was on the Wheel of Fortune. He said, "Oh, naggers, right? Naggers, of course."
What did you think I said?
Exactly. He's trying to play it off. Can we cut to commercial? But yeah, but I love this song. It's like you said, it's a long song, but it doesn't feel like it. Not at least not to me.
Well, that's one thing Deep Purple has always been good at is making you get lost, like with the guitar attack and everything.
Yeah, because when you hear the beginning, it sounds like doom is emanating. Like here comes a purple cloud or a dark cloud to cover the world. Like, oh, we better run for cover. At least that's what I thought when I heard the intro. But it's something totally different. It was either I was gonna go with this or Deep Purple's Perfect Strangers, but I chose Knocking at Your Back Door.
Yeah, I think that with both cases, with Scorpion and Deep Purple, that I like that you picked the songs that weren't already like more. I guess if we were talking about wrestling, the songs that would be more over.
Right. Which is funny because Perfect Strangers was used by the franchise, Shane Douglas and ECW. The Triple Threat. They used that song.
See, that's something that I like to talk about with music is how it just can make you just totally be a key to open up a memory
Yeah.
and stuff. And they've used it on a lot of like patients with dementia that like they'll be totally out of it, but you play something from that was a favorite of theirs music wise,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden you've seen like in numerous different videos from all over the world and everything where all of a sudden you have this person that was just like a zombie 1 second ago and they're just slowly starting to like snap their fingers or tapping and then they start singing lyrics that a few seconds ago they couldn't even recognize the person in front of them
Yeah.
and stuff. But it's also not even to go that route, just like what you were saying, like, oh wow, when I hear this, I'm thinking early ECW, the franchise coming out to this song and
Mm-hmm.
like placing memories with certain songs, bringing you back to that time when you were first hearing it and whatnot.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that memory and where I was when I heard that song. But yeah, knocking at your back door. Who knew? Apparently everybody else did, but me. What it really meant.
Hopefully, for her sake, it wasn't Dirk's next pick, the Iron Man.
And we don't mean the superhero. We're talking about Black Sabbath. And yeah, and speaking of memories, Black Sabbath. What wrestling tag team is synonymous with this song? The Road Warriors. They used this song back in the 80s. Every time you hear this song, you knew something was going to go down. The song's blaring, and here comes the Road Warriors with Paul Ellering, and they attack the ring. You're like, oh, crap. They're going to whip somebody up. And they usually did.
I thought I read or saw an interview or something, and them talking about the comic book. The Iron Man comic book.
Yeah. The Iron Man. Not Tony Stark's, but the Iron Man. But yeah. You hear that guitar playing at first, and then you hear that metallic, I am Iron Man. And then the guitar plays again, the riff. Kind of like.
Doom, 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 doom.
And yep, and here comes Hawk and Animal charging the ring, ready to beat up Aaron and Derk. Usually the Midnight Express.
Those rascals. Not those low Derk City machine guns.
No, not them. It was usually the Midnight Express of the Four Horsemen. Or I felt bad for the enhancement talent. They had to really be squashed by them. Because when they hit the ring, it looks like, man, that really looks like it hurt. It probably did when they hit you.
They said that. I saw in interviews and everything, that was what they were known for.
Mm-hmm.
Working stiff.
Yes, working stiff. Road Warrior Hawk. Well, I like when he would begin an interview like that. Well. But yeah, that Black Sabbath Iron Man, that brought back a lot of memories because the Road Warriors. And Ozzy Osbourne, one of Aaron's favorites.
Yeah, the memory I have with Black Sabbath is the one time that I got to see Pantera. They were opening up for what was one of their mini retirement tours or end of the line tours. But it was, I believe, like one of the last times they played as the full Black Sabbath with like their original drummer.
Yeah.
Like the Last Supper tour is what it was called.
You know,
we were at the last, Detroit was the last show of the first round of that tour. So when the show ended, they dropped a bunch of black confetti down onto the floor.
Oh, man. And you were there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I was in the stands.
Black confetti. Holy cow. Did you get any on you?
No, I think they had it just mainly focused dead center on that main floor.
Pantera. And Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, I think there was a documentary about Ozzy. And who was the other guitar player for Black Sabbath where they had a close-knit relationship? Because Sharon talked about it. I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, Tony Iommi was the only guitar player they had.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that was him. Because I know Sharon talked about it, and so did Ozzy, how they like to party all the time.
But speaking of Friends of Pantera, my next pick is just a song that every once in a while you'll hear somebody say Madhouse. And this song instantly pops in my, it's a madhouse. So they say. It's a madhouse.
Aaron's hitting those high notes again. It's a madhouse. Kind of similar to It's a Mad World. But that's a movie. Oh, there you go. Yep, just a little snippet,
And
folks. That's it.
the video where not only did Scott Ian have hair, and I'm not talking his long goatee, but he actually had long hair on his head in this video.
Oh, man. Anthrax.
And they take no shit, and they don't care for writing it.
Anthrax. I didn't know Aaron was a big fan of Anthrax.
Yeah, it's weird because of they're a group that I got into like after and had to backtrack, almost like with Kiss,
Mm-hmm.
because of when I came across them, the lineup was actually John Bush, and they released that Sound of White Noise and had Potter's Field and Once and not once but only. And just really dug that. And then, speaking of my friend Heavy Metal Joe, he was like, dude, you should check out this stuff before them with their original singer, Joey. And I did, and I enjoyed that too. Everything was like, to me, it was like a win-win.
Yeah. Yeah, Anthrax. When it comes to the big four, they're pretty much the forgotten ones. At least to me, they are.
Yeah, speaking of groups where I didn't realize that a lot of the songs were covers because of, I guess it's like when you hear the song, like you wouldn't know that if the first time you're hearing the song Time from like an Anthrax is doing it. I didn't know for like the longest time that was a cover. There's a lot of ones that Anthrax did that I was like, oh, didn't know that was a cover either.
But it's a good cover, though.
They always were.
Yeah, they always were. Even as they got older, Anthrax was still good.
Oh, they're the ones that I feel like are like Metallica seems like they've just are comfortable where they are,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just going to get, they've fallen into this formula and they know what they're doing and everything. And Megadeth seems like Dave wants to just stay, like, not lose his touch.
Right.
So just like, and I feel this is harder than Metallica because of, to maintain that speed that he had built and everything is something within itself. Like, you put a high stick up there to measure up to, and you probably weren't thinking, damn, when I get older, I'm gonna have to play this.
Yeah. It was a lot easier when I was younger.
Full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah. But for Anthrax, that one album, For All the Kings, that was pretty good.
Yeah, it's like they got to back together after all those years, and like something sparked, and it seemed like they were all of a sudden better than they ever were.
Yeah. We are reinvigorated. Like, we can still go. I have no hair, but we can still go.
And then this is the one I was saying was the
Oh.
probably the heaviest of the songs on the list.
Oh. Oh, yeah. That's heavy.
Let's see.
That was pretty heavy.
Cavalera, Morbid Visions, re-recorded.
Oh, man.
So, we're talking Max Cavalera, Igor Cavalera, the original singer and drummer for Sepultura.
Sepultura, yeah. Yeah, I would hear a lot from them on Headbangers Ball. Europe, that is.
Fancy.
Yeah, I remember that one. I forget the hostess. I know her name was Vanessa. I can't remember her last name. Who hosted that Headbangers Ball in Europe? And they would always play Sepultura.
I do remember there'd always be these like short little clips with Max.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Vanessa Warwick. That was her name. While Ricky Rackman handled the American Headbangers Ball, Vanessa Warwick would handle the Europe Headbangers Ball.
So in this year, they just released, I think that's basically I'm trying to find it.
Oh. Fermenter, I think I'll
covers, like them redoing these, because they also do Troops of Doom, Mayhem, War. A lot of old school tracks.
Ah, I got you.
But it was their newest release.
Sepultura.
Under the Cavalera Conspiracy banner.
Oh. So Aaron was a big Sepultura fan. Easy for me to say. Jeez. I can't pronounce them.
Sounded okay to me. Sepultura.
Oh, okay, that works. I want to say supper. That's easier.
From Brazil.
From Brazil. But yeah. So yeah, I can say that Sepultura was the hardest of our picks.
Or Cavalera Conspiracy.
Are you conspiring?
This one, though, I don't know if they dropped the conspiracy or if they're just going with Cavalera right now. But on the video, that they just have it as Cavalera. Morbid Visions re-recorded.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
Uh-oh.
We talked about this before. All three of your picks were ones that didn't have actual videos.
Which is weird because Arizona actually does have a video to it.
You're going to have to actually try to find, like, when you get the song in your head, you're like, okay, let me see if they actually made a video for this.
Exactly.
And if they did, send me that version.
Nope, can't play that. Can't do it.
Won't do it.
Can't do it. There we go. I'll send that to Aaron. There's the actual video of Arizona by the Scorpions.
Scorpions! We're the Scorpions, and we're here to sting you.
And I already got my pick for next week. I already sent it to you.
Not that. Other app. Oh no! Not that group.
Oh yeah, that group. We gotta talk about that group and the inspiration behind it, but that'll be for next week.
Oh, I know that group well.
Yes, you do. It'll be a little fun story. How it all came together.
In particular, that song in the intro.
In the lyrics.
Whiz.
Yeah. I love the lyrics to it.
Yes, so I can sing anything, huh?
Yeah.
And you'll learn all about what Gee Whiz came up with for that intro next week.
And it's funny when you hear the two lead singers sing at the same time. That's great. There's a lot of anger in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Gee Whiz was mad because someone made him do this song.
You've said too much.
Yes, I did. That'll be for next week. And I'll pick a song next week as much as I don't like it, but can't deny that it had a big impact in history. So I'll swallow my
Motor
pride.
City or
No, this for AD. AD is metal.
wow, I'm surprised the alarm hasn't.
No, it's still going.
Because I was looking at the time and I was going, I'm not going to say anything quite yet.
No. Yeah, we're still there. Hey, yeah, here's one. Yep, Kiss came to Cincinnati back on Thursday, and one of my coworkers went there to see them.
Black Diamond.
Yeah.
Din, rock and roll. Whoa.
Yeah, here's how out of touch I am. I didn't know that they kicked Ace Fairley out the group 20 years ago. Ace Fairley and who else? Was it Peter Criss or Paul Stanley?
Yes, Peter Criss.
Yeah, that's how behind the times I am. I didn't know they kicked him out of the group again.
But Peter Criss had like retired himself. Like he didn't want to do tours anymore. And this is supposedly last run for Kiss.
Well, yeah, like you said, supposedly. But every group says that. This is our last run. I remember Billy Joel said that, what was it, 2 years ago when he came to Cincinnati? This is it for me, my last tour. Now he's back this year doing I guess some sort of greatest hits tour.
Billy Joel?
Yes. Like, I thought you were...
I heard he's supposed to have some dates next year. Like him and Stevie Nicks.
Oh, man, Stevie Nicks. Never heard that name in a while. Send Mojo the
Old
second
Dutch
pick.
woman herself. You know where you are!
I will suck it up and I'll talk about this song next week. That I just sent you.
Oh, I bet you hear this song quite a bit being in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. It's also on a certain talk show, but that'll be next week too. But can't deny its place in history, so I'll talk about it.
Yeah, speaking of Headbangers Ball.
Mm-hmm.
That song.
Yeah. That song, Headbangers Ball. Or sometimes they have Skeleton of Death. Or Skeleton... What the heck? No, not Skeleton Death.
Stormtroopers.
Yeah. Thank you. Sometimes they use that as the intro back then. Stormtroopers, yes.
3420.
But yeah, the guy said he enjoyed his time at the Kiss concert. But is it true that not Paul, but is it true that Gene Simmons is really 6'4"?
I don't know. He was
That's what my
definitely
coworker
like
said.
one of the tallest ones in that group.
Yeah. Lick it up. Lick it up. Yeah, they played that song too while they were here in Cincinnati.
Six two.
Oh, he's 6'2". Okay.
But with those shoes that he puts on when he's a demon, though, he probably adds 5 more inches.
A demon? You mean Dale Torberg? No, just kidding. He played the Kiss Demon in WCW as Dale Torberg did. I remember that. That was the dying days of WCW.
But get this. His son, though, Gene Simmons' son, is actually 6'7".
Holy cow. 6'7".
So his dad has to wear those shoes and stuff just to look his son in the eyes.
My gosh. What does his son do? He should be playing sports. He was 6'7".
I know that he had that TV show that.
The cartoon?
No, it was specifically about Gene's family.
Oh, okay.
That near the end of that, he was getting into music. Or like playing in his own group.
Oh, that's right. Gene Simmons is married to Shannon Tweed. I forgot.
Oh, Gene Simmons' Family Jewels is what it was called. All the way back in 2006.
6'7". So I get what's his name? Nick Simmons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 6'7". Jeez. Says he's a comic book creator, television personality, and writer. Well, there you could have been a basketball star, or you could have been a tight end for a football team, if you really wanted to.
Well, he's not as big as his dad was. He's a pretty more like frame that tall, but with a Paul Stanley frame.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, Paul Stanley.
He'd get creamed on the football field, it would look like.
Yeah, unless he bulked up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he was. Oh God, what was that guy's name? He was with Kiss. What's his name? Vinny.
Oh, Vinnie Vincent.
Yeah, skinny like him. And they took off the face paint for a little bit. 6'7", he's Vinnie Vincent. Man. Oh, there goes the timer.
What did you set the timer for?
I did the 43:30. Or was it 43:20? I can't remember.
It was 34:20.
That's it. 34. I forget. Hold on, let me see. What did I set this timer for? Whoops. I think I went over. I set it for 43:20. Whoops. 34.
You just got you guys some extra time.
34, 43. Maybe it was just.
We're not gonna let Derk City have all the extra stuff with their frozen little special blooper.
Yeah.
Shoosh.
Yeah, shoosh. 43:20. What in the dyslexia is going on here? It was supposed to be 34:20.
Oh yeah.
Aaron's like, is this over yet? This is going on forever.
Yeah, I was looking at the time and it was like at 35:20. I'm like, wow. Usually this thing's interrupted us by now.
I know, but nope. I got the 34 and the 43 mixed up. Maybe we'll call it Derksylexia. Maybe we should call it that. The title of this one.
Until next week, folks.
All right.
KD is hard rock and heavy metal.
And dyslexia too.
Derksylexia.
Yeah.